Well, welcome along in everybody to the Red Card Radio preview for match week 18. This is we got some games kicking off today, Thursday for you guys, and then all through the weekend. But this is a weird one because we got games. Christmas Eve is on Sunday. Now, normally in the Premier League, we don't normally have Christmas Eve games, but we do this year on Sunday, and then obviously Christmas is on Monday, but then Boxing Day is on Tuesday, and so Boxing Day is a huge thing in England for football at least, and so there's I think 5 games on Boxing Day, which left me a little bit miffed when I saw the schedule a few weeks ago that Arsenal weren't playing on Boxing Day. But essentially, what I'm trying to say is that we've got a full slate of Premier League matches both this weekend and at the midweek coming up. So we are just going to jump right in. If you're new, if you just stumbled across us, hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell. If you are on one of the podcast sites, hit it with a follow, 5-star review. Wherever you're getting this, share it with a friend. It really does help us to reach new people. And we love talking about football with you all and with anyone who wants to listen with us. So without further ado, match week 18. Now, these games are scrolling along the bottom for you. You guys can check those out. We don't have the midweek games on the bottom line because we don't want to overcrowd it with 19 football matches. Because just quick caveat: the Brentford Manchester City match has been postponed because City will be in Saudi Arabia playing the Club World Cup. Now, if you I would be remiss if I didn't say, do you remember a few years ago when Liverpool had to field what was it, like a U16 team in the EFL Cup because they were in the EFL Cup and the Club World Cup at the same time?
On the same day.
Yeah, and the EFL wouldn't move their EFL Cup quarterfinal match. So just kind of humorous. Also, I guess the anecdote is that the EFL quarterfinals are happening right now, I guess, or they just happened. You can see how much we care about that.
Yeah.
Hopefully Port Vale wins.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'll be divine.
Yeah, let's go. All right. So match week 18, we're going to start this conversation with a battle of the Uniteds from the London Stadium in London. It's West Ham United hosting Manchester United. Now, of course, West Ham are coming off a pretty convincing 3-0 victory last weekend against Wolves. Manchester United are coming off of a hard-fought 0-0 draw away at Anfield. This is an interesting one because this seems like a game, like on paper, you look at this and you're like, yeah, Manchester United should win. Just thinking about the pedigree of the clubs, you say Manchester United should win. But if you look at the league table, which we don't do as frequently here at Red Card Radio, we do enjoy the league table. So just a quick live update for you. The 7th place team, Manchester United, is separated by 1 point from the 8th place team, West Ham United.
Who have a better goal differential.
Yes. So with that in mind, with all of that context, this should be a pretty good game, like a pretty close game. Yeah. 2 evenly matched teams. How do you see this one playing out? David Moyes and the boys?
David Moyes and the boys. Well, I believe Antonio should be back.
Okay.
I don't remember if he was back on the weekend. So that's a big help. He's an immense player for that club. They were defensively stout against Liverpool, to say the least. 34 shots, no goals allowed. That's incredible. Now, whether that was Onana or whether that was the defense, it's probably a combination
of
everything,
both. Yeah. It's a team effort when you face that many shots.
I can tell you that this is going to be an awful game to watch. Because neither manager knows what they want to do. They just both kind of just hope their team wins the game. They go in with thought. They go into each pregame match with thoughts and prayers, and then they get Capri Suns and fudge rounds after the game. They have no idea what they want to do. Tell me, James, look me square in the camera and tell me what Ten Hag style is.
So I have a better job describing David Moyes' style than Ten Hag's style. I think David Moyes is a player, is a coach who demands commitment from his players. He is looking for players who are willing
Commitment to do what?
commitment
Commitment to do what?
to working hard off the ball, being resolute defensively, and exploiting teams on the counterattack with speed and precision passing. With the likes of Kudos and Paqueta, Jared Bowen, being able to get the ball wide to those players and letting them run at players, run at the defense, and just generally, you know, counter attacking football, one might say. Ten Hag is probably a little bit different. They want to control the ball. Like Ten Hag and United, they want to control the ball. They want
Except they can't because they're not good.
Yes, they want to control the ball. They want to be pressing the issue. They want to smother you, but they don't. Yeah, I don't want to say that United have one glaring issue because I think that there are many issues with this Manchester United team. I think their midfield is imbalanced. Their wingers provide very little commitment off the ball. Both Rashford, Antony, Sancho, when he did play, I don't think he ever tracks back. And they don't really have they don't have a midfield identity. Is another issue with who. I mean, I guess Bruno is a good player. I don't think he's an outstanding player. But he is far too isolated in the midfield. Like he doesn't get enough support. And their defense is riddled with injuries, and they have a joke of a goalkeeper. Like, I think they have a clown who plays goalkeeping for them. The guy is not Onana's not good, but they should sign him to a Todd Bowley contract tomorrow, please.
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years, £10 million a week. Let's go.
This just reeks of a 3-1 West Ham because Tottenham have had their own well discussed on this podcast issues with injuries.
Yep.
And we were not precise against their counterattacking style. That led to 2 second half goals. Yeah. Although we controlled the game and although we absolutely battered them, it doesn't matter if the ball doesn't go in the back of the net and
True.
you make mistakes in the midfield, they are going to punish you. They have the talent to punish you. And with all of the things that you just chronicled and the things that I saw against West Ham when we played a week or two back, they're going to struggle with that. If they don't make crisp passes and the correct passes, West Ham are going to absolutely be all over them all night. It's going to be one-on-one Jared Bowen and Onana all night.
Yeah, so West Ham have who have they beaten so far? They've beaten Chelsea this year. They've beaten Brighton.
Tottenham away.
Yeah, they drew they drew Newcastle. Excuse me. Beat Tottenham away. So beaten Wolves at home. So like, I think this is not a walk in the park for United. It's not a walk in the park for West Ham either.
I think Baldy has his hands full with this one.
I mean, I agree. My issue is I'm hesitant to write off Manchester United this year because I feel like they should be better. And I know that I just said like 5 or 6 bullet points when I was describing United. That's like, what?
Of why they're bad.
Of why they're bad. Yeah, like I had 5 bullet points of why things don't work out for them. But for some reason, I still foolishly want to say that they're a good team.
It's because of the ghost of Fergie pass.
It must be. I don't know.
You're just having flashbacks of Fergie. He's not walking through the door. He's in the press box, staying warm.
Oh, I don't know what it is. And I said this at the beginning of the year too. Like I was like, this United team is going to surprise people. I thought they were going to be decent this year, and it hasn't come together for them. And I know they've had a lot of injuries. I know they've had a lot of important injuries, but
If
I,
you,
I don't know.
I, I want to go down this path with you.
Okay, let's do it. We went down a great path last week, so I'm excited for this.
If you were to guess between Bournemouth, Everton, and United,
Okay.
who have more losses? That is Everton, Bournemouth, Manchester United. Who has
Well,
more losses?
I mean, United are feast or famine this year. They've only drawn one game, and it was their last game against Liverpool. They had either won matches or lost matches, and so what
I'll
they'd
save you
played.
a little time. They all three have the same.
Oh, okay,
They have the same amount of losses as Bournemouth.
yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Bournemouth is where
They are
14th.
14th. Yes,
What are they? 7 losses. United have seven
7
losses.
losses.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
is that the most in the
I
league? No, it's not. Not
no
by not
no
even close. Sheffield United. Hello.
yeah
But yeah, no, like
yeah
United, I don't know, man. Like maybe I'm overthinking this, and
yes
I
you
hope
are.
I hope I am. I just don't know.
The reason we lost to West Ham was because we were playing Eric Dyer and Emerson Royal. Like
Yeah.
it's just not crisp passes
Oh
out.
my.
There's
United
just not crisp passes out of
United
the
have
neck.
only scored 18 goals this year
Yeah,
in the Premier League. That's an issue. They can't score goals. Like, and we were memeing on Chelsea a few weeks ago with not being able to score goals. There's like there's only a handful of teams that are worse than them. Crystal Palace are worse than them. Nottingham Forest are worse than them. Luton,
Bournemouth
Burnley, Sheffield. No, Bournemouth have
have
more
scored
goals than
more.
them.
Yeah,
Everyone other than those 5 teams I named. Wow, okay, that's an indictment of United. They can't score goals. They don't score goals. They're not defensively deficient. They're right in line with Manchester City, with Aston Villa. They've just scored like 20 less goals than those teams.
yeah. Tottenham, without Harry Kane and without James Madison, have scored 17 more goals than United.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, yeah, that's a glaring issue for this team. Probably the biggest issue. That's probably their biggest issue is that they can't score goals. Defensively, they're not bad. Like 21 goals through 17 matches. That's a little bit more than one a game, but like that's right in line with some of the other clubs. I mean, only Arsenal and Liverpool are really doing substantially better than they are. So
Yeah.
that's wild. I hadn't seen that before. I hadn't looked at that. Okay, yeah, I'm overthinking this. West Ham's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah, West
All
Ham's
right.
gonna
So
win.
what's going to happen at Anfield next week? Tell me. Give me the
Oh
lowdown.
man, this is a boogie match for us.
What do you
We
mean?
are not good at Anfield. We haven't been good at Anfield for
Nobody's good at
years.
Anfield. Nobody's good at
Um,
Anfield. You just get the result, man. Just go in there and do it.
I was speaking with my father a few weeks ago. We were talking about I forget when this was happening, but I was kind of talking about how like what I would like to see Arsenal, where I would like to see Arsenal come January 1st. And I'm not one to like I don't you know me, I don't like to look too far ahead in the table or in the fixture list.
And you
Um,
know me. I've already scouted out April, baby.
we are diametrically opposed in this endeavor. Um, but so it forced me to like when I was having this conversation with my father, it forced me to kind of look ahead a little bit. And I think my overarching statement was I hope to be in and around first, like within 1 or 2 points of first, whether that's first or second, whatever. And then I don't want to get embarrassed at Liverpool. If we don't get embarrassed at Anfield, this is what I said. If we don't get embarrassed at Anfield, I will feel much better about our prognosis going into the second half of the season. Um, I think I think we are more healthy than they are, which would mean that we have our best players out there, and so therefore we should be able to get a result at Anfield. Um, but it's going to be right up there with going away to St. James's Park as the most difficult matches we've played so far this year. Um, so I mean, like Villa Park is a difficult place to play, but we dominated Aston Villa at their place. We just couldn't score goals. Like we just couldn't shoot the ball. I have no confidence in our ability to go dominate the game at Anfield like we dominated the game at Villa Park. I think it's going to be more akin to what we saw at Newcastle, where we suffered for large parts of the match, and we should have been able to walk away with a point, and we didn't. And maybe something similar happens at Liverpool. I don't know, but we have to score goals and we have to defend well. If we want to win the league, we need to win this match. I'm just not convinced that we will win the match. I'm nervous about it.
Well, so let me just take a look while I think this out. So you guys against a similarly playing, I'm not saying that the Gang Press, and I'm not even sure he's still running that. His high press uh, uh, defense slash balls in the middle, what 50-50 balls, that high pressure style, you didn't do well against us. I think we both agreed that was fairly even. I think we both came away thinking we should have won that game, and that's a sign of that's a sign of an even game.
Yeah, both of us, I think, were disappointed we didn't win the match.
Yes.
Yeah.
Against City, you did well. That is a very similar style. However, Kevin De Bruyne-less. That was a 1-0 at home. So I would call that struggling. I was looking for Brentford. They play a similar style, although not similar players.
I think
it was a 1-0 away.
But
so
I think if you talk to Thomas Frank, I think Thomas Frank said after that match that we thoroughly beat them.
Sure. But it doesn't show on the scoreline as I'm just scanning it.
Yeah.
Arsenal or Aston Villa don't necessarily play that game. They definitely aren't lackadaisical on defense, but that's not their MO. The high line press is not what they're going for. So the team similar to what you're going to see on the weekend hasn't been your most spectacular games this year.
True.
So that should give you a little caution. Now they are going to be missing McAllister, which is going to help you a lot.
Yes. The more injured their midfield is, the more confident I get.
Yes, because when you're throwing Odegaard and Rice at them, those are two extremely competent.
Rice is such a player. Like, he is so good.
He's better than I gave him credit for. That's the only compliment you'll get.
Like, I did not get to see him play as much at West Ham because I wasn't going to be suffering watching West Ham matches, and because I was confident that we weren't going to sign him. Like, I was like, there's no way he's going to go to City. I said that for weeks, and I've got the text messages to back it up. But holy cow, the guy is so good. He just gets the ball and is able to travel, and he has an uncanny ability to like change his pace exceptionally quickly. He's just able to go up to another gear, and he's so tall, he's so long that, like, you look at
the arm around.
Yeah, and well, it's not even that. I'm not even talking about that, but like he does do that.
All the players do that, but that little short burst just to get on the other side.
But like his ability to carry the ball and just like go past a defender who you think has a good angle on him is incredible. So yeah, I get more confident the more I find out how injured their midfield is.
If I'm recalling, what I said about Rice was that when we played West Ham last year, he was non-existent. I didn't even notice that he was in the game. And then the more I reflected on that, the more I thought, that's probably an indictment on how good he is, that he just blends into the game. Because you don't notice, he's not doing anything flashy. He's just gluing the game together. Because he just receives the ball, picks out a good pass, and then makes a run somewhere.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Like, he's not flashy. He gets the ball, scans the field, there's the pass, kicks it.
Yep.
No hesitation, no spectacular moves. He's just so the more I thought about him not being really visible was more of the more I thought about it, the more it was a compliment.
I think he stands out a little bit more for Arsenal this season.
Probably because you guys have a better team.
Yeah, exactly. And he's more involved. He's more on the ball progressively than he would have been for West Ham.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I've been and when you want to harp on a player on a big money signing, you harp on them for their price tag, right? When they're not playing well, it always gets brought up. Not a single person talks about Declan Rice being 105 million pounds.
yeah.
It's not mentioned. He's been worth every cent of it.
Because what you want out of your, I'm assuming that's your six.
Yeah, he's playing
Uh,
six.
what
Yeah,
what you want out of your six is don't get into these 3-on-1 dribbling situations. You should have already gotten the ball out by now,
is this a,
which is
a call back to
sometimes
Bissouma?
Basuma.
Yeah,
Just sometimes I know you can. You don't need to show me.
yeah,
Just get the ball out. Draw the defenders in, yes. Get the ball out.
yes. Um,
But yeah, I
throw
had to
that.
give it to Basuma for a little bit.
Yeah, throw that little shot in there.
He's talented enough to do it. The problem is he knows that.
He should just not.
Yeah,
He should just not do it.
and should just tell him he's not good enough to do that. And
Um,
just don't do that
it ain't on,
because
mate. It ain't on.
he is good enough. He is good enough. He can do it. Just how many times with three Premier League opposing players? How many times are you getting out of that?
All right.
Maybe one.
Yeah.
What,
How
what do we got?
well, I think we just quickly talk
Spurs,
about well, no.
Sean Dyche and the boys.
No, no,
No,
no,
come on.
no. This is the Chelsea is back, man. How much is Chelsea
Oh,
beating Wolves by? Because Chelsea is back, baby.
you know the saying. If you think you're back, go to the Molineux.
Is that the same?
That's all the it goes back decades,
Centuries.
centuries. Yeah. Uh, well, Tottenham found out Molineux, when you're not healthy, is not a good place to play.
Yeah.
They will. They will. Kuna is a great player, by the way. I don't think he's going to be at Wolves long, unless he's just happy in the Midlands. Um, he is a good player. They have a bunch of good players.
Yeah, their
Now I got to
squad is
look at it.
good.
Yeah, Neto is. I believe he's leading the league or tied with Salah for assists on the year. Um, they've, of course, as Pep Guardiola calls him, they've got the Korean guy. Um,
He-chan.
yeah, he is a great finisher. That's another guy I don't feel like is going to be on Wolves
I
very
feel like
long.
I feel like he just signed a contract extension, but I agree with what you're saying in sentiment. Is that He-chan is going to go play? I don't know. Is he quite young? Could he replace? He's 27, so no, he's not quite young. I was gonna say he could replace Heung-min Son at Tottenham.
No, they don't really play the same position. Um,
Different
Chan is
sides.
more, yeah, more. I feel like Chan's more of the up top than Son wants to be. Son can play up top, but he is more of a left winger. Um, Now the Ait Nori kid at left back is incredible. When we
Yeah,
played them, he just popped off the television screen,
yeah.
and we had yeah. I mean, I don't remember, but it probably was Poro. Poro had his hands full up the left. It- it- I would love to have Nori on my team, even having Udogi. And we just find some other place to put Udogi. I don't know what the situation is, but like they're both really, I believe they're both really young. Let me see how old.
Ike Nori is
22.
22. Yeah,
Yeah, so they're 1 or 2 years off. Oh,
yeah.
it had a picture of him in a Liverpool outfit. So apparently he started there, I guess. Missed out on that one. You got Andy Robertson. You kind of let your next left back in line go.
Next two or three.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they've got some players, and we got a little bit down the Google rabbit hole there, or at least I did. Um, it's just they're good. They're good enough to punish you if you are not crisp, and Chelsea have not been crisp all year.
Yeah, but Chelsea are so back, man.
Yeah, well,
They're so back.
I just told you the saying. If you think you're back, go to the Molineux.
Well, I guess the question is, what's the combined 11 here? So like, obviously
Combined 11.
everyone's taking Sa over
Yes,
Sanchez, right?
whatever. It doesn't matter who. Pick one.
Yeah. we're taking Ait Nori.
Yes, at left
Uh,
back. Yes.
yeah, without question. Um,
Yeah.
I
Now, what
guess,
they got? Is it Dawson?
yeah, Craig Dawson,
You're
Nelson
probably taking.
Semedo, Kilman,
I'm just
Gomez.
gonna. I'm gonna go off their last played. Kilman's getting around.
Semedo's also very good. Are we doing like a healthy 11? Because I think I would, I think Chelsea at center back have a shout there with Thiago Silva and Levi Colwill. Um,
Yeah. Then yeah, you would unfortunately have to probably go Reece James.
probably, probably,
Um. So then you go to the midfield and you've got Semedo, Lamena, and João Gomez
yeah.
over what did they got? Enzo,
Fernandez,
Caicedo.
Caicedo.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting. I think Lamina is probably a little bit more like stout than either
He's
Fernandez or
yeah, he's stout. That's a word for him.
yeah, like I think I would take him and maybe like Fernandez and
Yeah,
maybe like
Gallagher.
would you take Gallagher over Joe Gomez? Joe Gomez?
Probably not. Anyways, we're going with the front three though. We're going we're going Huang, Kuna,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Maybe Jackson.
No.
Sterling. No.
No. You're taking the I think you're taking the entire Wolves front three. Give
Are
me
you
Neto,
trolling?
He-Chan. Yeah, man. I'm not
Yeah, Neto.
yeah, get out of here. I'm not taking any of these Chelsea bomb.
Oh,
Maybe
we
Cole
forgot.
Palmer. Maybe Cole
Yeah,
Palmer.
we forgot about Palmer in the midfield.
Yeah.
We've got to put Palmer in the
Well, maybe
midfield.
we'll put Palmer on like the right or something. We'll mix it up. We'll mix it up to get Palmer in there. We'll
He
play a
was
diamond.
he,
We'll play a 4-4-2 with diamond midfield. Palmer at the 10.
we
But this hold on. This is a meme that we're doing right now. But it's an indictment, I think, of Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club, who have spent $1 trillion in the last 6 days on players.
the
They
fact that
should
you could argue any Wolves player in their starting
right.
lineup
That's the point
is
I'm
an
making.
indictment. That
Yeah,
is the indictment.
this shouldn't be a question. Like, and I'm sure like you could line up any of our squads and say, okay, against Arsenal, like do any of these players fit into the Arsenal squad?
He Chan's getting in our lineup, 100%.
Okay.
Pedro Neto's getting in our lineup.
Um.
Well, with healthy though, Madison or Neto is pretty much a coin flip.
Well, it's
I don't
funny.
think you're wrong either way.
It's funny because I just thought about it in my head, like, would any of these players get into the Arsenal team over their counterparts? And I was like, but this, I'm so biased that I can't answer that question logically.
Yeah.
But like, it's wild. It like where Chelsea are, where Wolves are. If Wolves win this game, they go even on points with Chelsea. I mean, the goal difference is astronomically worse. But if they win, what is it? It's a 10 goal difference. If they win by 5 goals, it's even.
Yeah, that's right. 5-0 Wolves at the Molineux.
Let's
You heard
go,
it here.
bro. That would be wild.
Heard it here from James.
Brad would have a conniption. Let us know what you guys think is going to happen at the Molineux. That's Christmas Eve there. So that'll be maybe a nice Christmas present for all of the boys and girls of Wolverhampton. So Boxing Day fixtures, you got Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Fulham, Sheffield, Luton Town, Burnley, Liverpool, and Manchester United, Villa. We're not going to talk about them, but just that's on your radar. It's still yet to be decided, loyal listeners of Red Card Radio, whether or not there will be episodes next week. So if this is the last time you hear from us in 2023, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for listening, for sharing with friends, for dropping comments, for interacting on Discord, all those things. We really do appreciate it. And we've had fun this year. Well, we will be, if we're not back next week, we'll be back the first week of January.
Hey, that transfer window will be open, baby.
And Brad will be here the moment that transfer window opens because Brad is all about the transfer market.
Emergency pod.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised. But thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy some football this weekend. Enjoy some football over the Christmas period and the New Year period if we don't see you. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you soon, guys.
Right.
And until then, hit us up on Twitter. That guy is at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany, collectively at Redcard_Radio, and Brad is at KS Brad G. And we will talk to you all soon. Have a good one.